they should already be Buddhas, the ones who are there and running this place. And so, yeah. Just in case, so that you don't give up hope. I know one Buddhist group that since I know them, and I know them since they exist, so it was what, 98 or something, they never had any conflict. One. And I know many Buddhist groups. But it's a small group. They have a fantastic director who does this so joyfully. You know, because Lama Lundrup told him to create a center in Martigny, Jean-Paul. He's very big, and kindness in person. I mean, everybody loves him. So he said, you know, I was so joyful when everybody else is afraid when they get this job. They say, oh, yeah, but he said, I was so joyful when Lama Lundrup asked me to create a group in Martigny. And then at one point he was maybe thinking, before he found a second partner, to become a monk. And Lama Zopa then told him, no, better you stay a lay person and remain director. He said, I was so happy when he told me to remain director. Usually they see it as a punishment, because it is difficult. Yeah, because he has so many clashes and this. But also his authority is like, he's the top, and that's for sure, and everybody does what they want him to do. So it's easy also to be the director. But maybe he has the karma to be, yeah, and also when the Dalai Lama was in Switzerland, also he was very much at the top of organizing the whole thing. He had all the volunteers under him, and everybody was so joyfully doing their work. So it spills over. The joy spills over, the same as the non-joy also, by the way. And so, even if everybody else is not joyful, you can still be joyful. And maybe the hope that it might spill over. But it's difficult. But Dharma groups need volunteers, so that's for sure. Otherwise, they cannot exist. So, as I say, you know, one group I know where there is no conflict, so never give up hope that your group can also be, in case you have a Dharma group, your group can also be the one. Okay, if I do not give away, even in samsara, joy will fly from me. So we need confidence, you know, we need confidence in this, that it will create joy when I give away something that maybe I need, maybe. You know, how many things do we have at home where we think, oh, maybe at one point I will need this, yeah? So I tell you, being homeless for 1 year, this will take care of this. Yeah, that if you have to carry all your stuff with you, it will take care of these things. Maybe I will need them.
For a while.
Huh?
For a while, but then when you have it home again,
I
then
don't
you start
know.
collecting.
You think it accumulates again? Not necessarily.
Maybe you learn some.
Yeah, I think you learned it. And at least you start afresh, you know, then you can accumulate again. But you don't have to, you buy it, you don't take it out. And usually when we buy something, we're not thinking, at one point maybe at one point I will need this. Usually when we buy something, we think we need it, and we use it also for a while. But then it goes into the, maybe at one point I will use this again. Let alone what is beyond this world, because of my servants doing no work and because of my masters giving me no pay, even the needs of this life will not be fulfilled. Again, he talks, I think, about leaving future lives aside of reckoning. Even this life needs are not fulfilled when servants do not do their work and masters do not pay the wages earned. So what ripens in this life is from past life's karma, they usually say. So, you know, we're not just thinking about the future, we also look at our lives now. To think if your life is going well, like, you know, financially more or less secure, having what you need, medicine if you're sick, or having access to medical treatment and all this, is ripening positive karma. Do we think like this? Are we grateful for this mind stream who in the past has created this situation? When things do not go, like my workers do not do their work, and masters do not pay the wages, do we think, oh, negative karma ripening, therefore, whatever I've done there, that's done, but now I have to be careful to do my work if I'm a servant, or pay the wages if I'm a master. Yeah, not just to think about future lives, but also think about this life, what in this life we have to do. Yeah. So can we accept? Do we really accept 100% law of cause and effect? I don't. If I would behave differently. Do you accept it 100%? No, it's not in yet. We're not born with it also, we have to say, yeah? We're not born with this, we hear it, we're born with it in Christianity, even you're not Christian, you hear it left and right and everywhere. There is a God, especially when you're a kid, that's what you hear, there's a God, He judges, and He punishes you, and He rewards you. That's what we grow up with. And then we either have parents that support that view, and then we get used to it and we adapt it, or we have parents like mine who say this bullshit, and then you don't know what's going on. And then I heard about karma. I was very happy that at least I had some explanation why we have this mess in this world. I'm not going to say this about God. So anyway, but also, with karma and with God, it's like, if you see somebody behaving in a negative way, you believe in God, He will take care of them when they die. Don't worry, you don't have to, punish them. Of course, if you have the power to put them into prison, so he or she is protected and other people are protected, by all means do, but treating them in a nasty way, it's not going to help. If you believe in karma, karma will take care of them. So again, it doesn't have to be you. But we can maybe inspire them, by being more ethical and stopping to harm others. Maybe we can do that. Okay? So Pema Chodron here says, let's forget about enlightenment. Even worldly joy will be absent if we don't take care of each other. In this life, if servants or employees do not do their jobs and masters' employees do not take care of them, then social values begin to crumble. And it's true, The work ethic is really going downhill. The employee does as little as possible, and the master pays the boss pays as little as possible, gives you as little as possible free time, quenches whatever he can. You say quench also? No? It's like, a lemon, you quench a lemon, and then something comes out, they quench out of you as much as they can, isn't it? Have you noticed that? And we then, as employees, we do the minimum. Yeah. So if it would be different the other way around, both would be happy. If I'm the boss, I give you as much free time as I can and as much money as I can. I'm even thinking, okay, I don't need my fourth car, or my house is big enough, don't need a bigger one. And if I'm the employee, I say, I'm so happy that I can go and do the work for this person so he can buy his big house. So then it would still be the same action, but it would differently. So we can wait, if we're employees, we can wait for the boss to change his attitude, or we can start as the employee and say, I work as hard as I can. Ooh. You will get criticism from other people. Why are you working so hard? What are you doing? Then he will criticize us that we're not working hard enough if you work so hard. It's so difficult. It's so difficult in these workplaces, isn't it? And also, or they take advantage of you, and then you feel like the friar, kind of, I'm always the last one, I'm the one cleaning up the cups. Don't forget, you're a Bodhisattva making a promise to liberate all beings from their suffering, so you might as well, if you can't even wash their cups, how are you going to take them out of samsara?
Just that when I work too hard, I have the tendency to lose my awareness.
You have the tendency to
lose my awareness while working.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying too hard, I'm saying as hard as you can.
As hard as I can, but in a pace that I can keep my awareness, more or less.
Yeah.
And then it's always not that fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you just, every situation is a little bit different, and It's more about attitudes, and it's more about, that we feel like being taken advantage of, both of them, the employer, the one who pays you, and the one who is working. They both feel that being, the victim. So, and we're not able to go to the other side because I only see my side. So what he's doing here, you have to go to the eye of the other one, not to his, as the boss, but to his eye, how his eye is thinking. Same as your I, me, self, yeah? The selfish thinking. Anyway, she says also, of verse 132 is what is behind all revolutions, like in South Africa. For years, brutal masters did not pay the wages they should have. Apartheid, separateness was legalized and became normal. And yet many people worked on the same principles as Shanti Deva's states, and gradually things took a turn for the better. Then, however, the results of years of oppression is that the former servants are now attacking the former masters. It's a very familiar story. The oppressors and the oppressed switch roles again and again. Lasting happiness, says Shantideva, depends on a genuine change in people's hearts, one that seeks first what is best for others because we see their joys and sorrows as our own. So casting far away abundant joys that may be gained in this or future lives because of bringing harm to other beings, I ignorantly bring myself intolerable pain. This is kind of the resolution. He says, okay, I'm suffering now because that was my behavior in the past. By rejecting the method that establishes both foreseeable and unforeseeable joy, I cast magnificent delight complete aside, and then, because of inflicting misery on others, in confusion I seize hold of unbearable pain. So, if all the injury, fear and pain in this world arise from grasping at the self, then what use is that great ghost to me? If I do not completely forsake it, I shall be unable to put an end to suffering, just as I cannot avoid being burnt if I do not cast aside the fire I hold. Yeah, so this is like clinging on to the self and always finding excuses. Of course, as you say, and nobody's out, it's about attitudes. It's not about, we do what we can. And especially the first thing is that we see how self-cherishing we are. How we're really starting to be honest with ourselves. Maybe you're not. But me, sometimes I really see it and I go like, wow, And then we should react like it was one Geshe also, can't remember his name, he's a meditator, he was abt of the Namgyal monastery in Bodhgaya, and he came to Root Institute to give a talk. And he's a bit like Geshe, the one from Pamaya, what was his name? Geshe, who was also here in Israel, Gyatso, Losang Gyatso? Tenzin Gyatso, Losang Gyatso, I think. I think he was Losang Gyatso. Like, very jolly and like beard and not very like fat. And do you remember? No, always laughing. And you remember it's Chapa? No? Jerky brought him. Yeah? Jerky's master, Losang Gyatso, I think, yeah? And he was here and he gave a few talks.
Jampa Gyatso.
Jampa Gyatso, maybe, yeah. Jampa is love, Gyatso, ocean of love. And that's what he was. He was absolutely not attractive. I mean, he had a big gap in his teeth here, and he was round, and he had, he was not shaven properly, but he was very jolly. Yeah, he was very, very jolly. And how did I get to him now? No, so he was a bit like him, this other Geshe. So he finished his talk and I escorted him down the stairs, and he was looking at the mass of shoes because there were maybe 40 people and all the shoes there, and he looked and then he started laughing. I said, Keshela, what is it? He said, wow, I saw it. I said, what? He said, the self-cherishing mind who can't find the shoes, and the first thing, who stole them? But they're here. And he was so happy to see his self-cherishing mind. That's how we should react when we see how selfish we are. I have it, I got it, and therefore now I can do something about this. such a good example. We go like, oh, I'm so bad, I'm so full of self-judging, I'm not a good practitioner, I know the theory, but I'm not able to apply it. So whenever it comes up with this, we go, ha, I saw it. Because the moment you say, I see it, you're out of it. And you're in your intelligent mind and not in the self-cherishing, pity mind, oh, I'm so bad. It's a very good example. Anyway, so now we're going to feed our body. It's lunchtime, so before we feed it, we offer the food. And one thing, gratitude. Gratitude is so, so important. Mother Earth still feeding us. So many human beings working very, very hard. So whenever you, especially here, it's agricultural area, so I saw some of them in the fields this morning when we came. Look at them, think, oh, you will be the ones who I will become a Buddha to get you out of samsara as quickly as possible because you make it possible for me to survive. Don't get, upset about high prices and blah, blah, and all this. Yeah, no point. You have to pay, but at least we have access to these things. Free access. Other people have to fight for it, or even fighting, they don't find any food. Yeah, so we think about our positive karma that we have, that is ripening, that comes through generosity. So may I be able, to put these wishes in our minds. May I be able to share all I have freely. At the moment I'm afraid. So I'm holding back because I have this one thought, as it says in one of the verses, if I give this, what will be left for me? At the moment, I have this fear. May I be able to continue to practice so I lose that fear, that I can give freely, not with chains. Like miserliness is compared in the Tara practice as chains that kind of keep us from enjoying what we have because we're so afraid to lose it or to give it. May I be able to practice generosity freely. And the best generosity I can give them is I become a Buddha very quickly in order to then inspire them and guide them to enlightenment. At the moment, I will offer this food to all Buddhas and Arya Bodhisattvas on their behalf, in their name. I will not keep that merit to myself. Whatever positive karma I create, I dedicate it to enlightenment of all, not just my own. And then it makes a lot of sense to create positive karma. Then it's not selfish. Because then I'm not behaving in a nice and good way so I don't suffer in the future. I do it for enlightenment's sake. And enlightenment is also always, if it's only for me, I will never be enlightened. If I want to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all, I will attain enlightenment. So you think whatever pops into your mind in a mental image of whatever is beautiful, delicious, wonderful, you kind of arrange it. You fill the whole space with it. You offer it to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, becoming aware that I, the giver, the food that I'm giving, and the receiver, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all three spheres, empty of inherent existence. That this food is offered mentally, created by the mind, that we understand. But it has the ability of creating positive karma, of generosity, because we do it consciously. And we really say thank you to Mother Earth, to the sun, to the wind, to the rain that will soon come, and to all beings, humans and insects and other animals that are needed in order to the food to grow. We just say thank you. I will now feed my body, seeing this food as medicine. Not to get strong and healthy, not to increase arrogance, and also not with aversion. And like that, when we offer like this, all of a sudden, all the food you're eating, doesn't matter anymore what it is, becomes delicious. Because we use it to nourish this body, to keep it alive. Why do I want to keep alive? Because I want to attain enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. Okay. So then we continue this afternoon at 2 o'clock. So please enjoy your lunch, whatever it is.